was a slow shift, the kind where the hum of the refrigerators becomes the only sign of life. Around 1:30 a.m., the motion sensor above the front door blinked, even though no one was outside. I leaned forward, expecting a car to roll up, but the parking lot was empty. Clear pavement, no headlights, nothing moving except a plastic bag caught in a breeze that came from nowhere. I thought it was a glitch. The sensor was old and acted up whenever the temperature dropped. But then the door gave a single, sharp rattle, the kind that only happens when someone pushes it lightly from the outside. I stepped closer. "We're locked after midnight," I called out, raising my voice just enough. A woman's face appeared inches from the glass. I jumped back. She wasn't there a second ago. Long, dark hair, pale skin, heavy breath fogging the window. She pressed her hand to the glass and whispered, "Please let me in. Someone followed me here." Her voice shook hard enough that I didn't doubt she believed it. I hit the button and the lock snapped open. She slipped inside fast, like the cold was chasing her. I locked the door again and watched her hug herself tightly. "Thank you," she said, still catching her breath. I didn't know where else to go. People running from danger look a certain way. Panicked eyes, rushed movements, adrenaline in every word. She had that, but something was off. Not wrong, just off. It felt like she was acting in slow motion, even though she was clearly scared. I tried to keep it calm. "Is someone after you? Did you see a car, or—" Her head turned sharply toward the doors, like she heard something I didn't. He was behind me. He walked the same pace I did. He stayed far enough back that I couldn't see his face. But when I started running, she swallowed hard. He ran too. That cold feeling climbed up my spine. I wasn't a cop, just a night clerk, but danger is danger. "Do you want me to call the police?" "No," she said quickly. Too quickly. "He won't stay if they come. He never stays." Her wording bothered me. Never stays. Like this wasn't new? I tried to study her face. Tired eyes, cracked lips, a hospital bracelet hidden under her sleeve. Her clothes looked normal, clean, not like someone living on the street. But the bracelet stood out. I didn't ask about it. "I just need a few minutes to warm up," she murmured, rubbing her hands together. "Then I'll go." "Take your time." But I stepped toward the office door. I wanted to check the security feed, just to see if the man she described followed her here. I glanced up at the monitor, and something in my chest tightened. The front camera showed the parking lot clearly, but the frame where she should have been standing next to me, it was empty, completely empty. She was right beside me, close enough that I could hear her breathing, but the screen showed only me, staring toward the counter. The space around me was blank. I blinked, looked at her, looked at the screen again. Nothing. The back camera was the same. The angle that always captured customers walking in and out showed only the door closing, no body passing through. My hands felt numb. "Is something wrong?" she asked behind me. I forced myself not to turn too fast. "The cameras must be glitching again," I said, but the words felt heavy. Glitches don't erase people. Her eyes drifted to the monitor. Her expression didn't change. No surprise, no confusion, just calm. Too calm. "You don't have to worry about that," she said. "They never show me." A small, strange smile touched the corner of her mouth. "I'm only visible when I need help." My throat tightened. This was no longer a normal situation. My body kept telling me to keep distance, to keep eyes on the door, to not let her move behind me. "Are you hurt?" I asked quietly. She didn't answer. Instead, she walked toward the window and stared out into the parking lot. Her reflection didn't appear in the glass either. "Is he still out there?" she whispered. I stared at the empty lot. "I don't see anyone." She pressed her hand against the glass. "He's patient. He waits for me to leave a warm place. He waits until I'm alone again." "Who is he?" Her voice dropped low. "The one that followed me home the first time." Something moved outside. Not a person. More like a shape bending slightly out of sight behind the pump. I froze. It might have been the wind playing tricks, but the motion sensor blinked red again. The woman leaned closer, breath fogging the window. "He knows I'm safe while you're here." My palms began to sweat. "Why did he follow you?" She turned her head slowly, so slowly the motion barely looked human. "Because he wanted someone who couldn't run anymore." I backed up a step without meaning to. Her smile widened in a way that didn't fit her face. "You let me in. That makes you kind." The smile faded. "He won't like that." The motion sensor blinked harder. Something scraped against the metal siding outside. Long, dragging, deliberate. I reached for the phone to call the police. Her voice sharpened. "If you call them, he'll leave, and he'll wait." "For what?" "For you," she whispered. The air felt colder. My hand hovered over the phone. I didn't know what scared me more, the thing outside or the woman standing inches from me, unseen by any camera. She stepped backwards toward the door. "Thank you for giving me a place to rest." Before I could speak, she slipped outside. The door clicked shut. I stared at the monitor. No woman, no shape, just an empty lot. But a few seconds later, the sensor blinked again, and something large and hunched moved past the pumps, following her into the dark. I locked the door and didn't unlock it again until sunrise. I still check the cameras every night. I still expect to see her reflection someday. But the truth is, I don't think she has one. I had been the janitor there for 3 years. Top floors first, restrooms last. Routine kept the job simple, predictable. At least it used to. It was close to 2 a.m. when I reached the restroom on the 10th floor. The cleaning cart squeaked as I pushed it in. The lights flickered once, old wiring, but stayed on. I walked in expecting the usual. Empty stalls, faint smell of cleaner, silence. But someone was in the far stall. I saw the feet immediately. Men's dress shoes, black, polished, pointed toward the toilet, except they weren't. The toes faced the back wall, heels toward the door, like whoever stood there had turned their feet completely backwards. At first, I thought my eyes were adjusting weirdly. The angle looked impossible. Human ankles don't bend like that. But the feet didn't move. They just stayed there, still as stone. "Sir," I tried, "we're closed on this floor. Anyone here after midnight needs clearance." No answer. I stepped closer, mops and sprays rattling in my cart. "Sir, if you can hear me, I'm supposed to lock this floor in 10 minutes. The feet shifted. Not a natural shift, not the subtle weight change people make when they're standing. These turned slightly, without lifting, sliding on the tile. The backward toes angled toward me by maybe half an inch. Then they froze again. My skin tightened. Something about that movement was wrong in a way I couldn't name. I backed up slowly. "I'll just come back later," I said, trying to sound normal. I left the restroom and pulled the door shut. But the silence outside didn't feel like the usual after-hours quiet. It felt heavier, like the air was thicker than it should be. I walked down the hall toward the elevator. Halfway there, a thought hit me so hard I stopped walking. There had been no shadow under the stall door, just the feet. I shouldn't have gone back, but something in me needed to see it again, to prove it was just a tired brain playing tricks. I pushed the restroom door open and peeked inside. The feet were gone. The stall was closed, but nothing was visible underneath. A sharp chill climbed my arms. I took one step in, just to confirm the stall was empty. Before I reached it, the lights flickered again. Twice, then 3 times, like someone was playing with the switch. I froze. The stall door creaked. Not a full swing, just a slow, gentle pull inward, like someone on the inside was dragging a finger along the metal, tracing the edge. The feet reappeared, but not on the ground. They were hanging, upside down, toes pointing up, heels down, and still backward. They dangled just above the gap at the bottom of the door, swaying slightly, as if an invisible body hung from the ceiling inside the stall. I stumbled back, knocking the cleaning cart into the sink. Bottles clattered to the floor, rolling in every direction. The feet lifted, and then vanished. The stall door clicked shut, soft as a whisper. I bolted out and practically threw myself into the hallway. The elevator was too far. I headed for the stairwell, pushing the heavy fire door open with my shoulder. It slammed shut behind me. The stairwell echoed with a sound. A long, ringing metallic echo that bounced down to the lower floors. I started down the stairs fast. My footsteps echoed, but then something else echoed too. Another pair, slow, bare, not shoes, flesh against concrete. I didn't look back. I picked up speed, gripping the rail. My breath came fast, echoing up the stairwell. The bare footsteps matched my pace. When I reached the 8th floor landing, I made the mistake of glancing over the railing. Feet, one flight above me, dangling through the gap in the railing, backwards, hanging upside down as if the rest of the body was suspended above the stairs. They jerked once, like someone was pulling themselves downward. I ran, down to floor 7, 6, 5. The footsteps followed, but not in a chasing rhythm. They came in heavy drops, like something was falling in slow motion, hitting each landing with unnatural weight. When I burst out onto the 4th floor, the entire hallway felt colder, like the temperature had dropped instantly. The air smelled different too, not like cleaning supplies or carpet, but like old stone, like a basement left sealed for decades. I forced myself down the hall toward the freight elevator. It was slow, but closer than the main one. I hit the call button again and again, watching the numbers crawl. Behind me, the stairwell door creaked open. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. The elevator dinged and the doors opened with painful slowness. I stepped inside, hit the button for the lobby, and kept my eyes fixed forward. The doors slid shut halfway, stopped. The gap between them was about 2 inches, enough to see a pair of feet standing on the hallway floor. Backwards, they faced the elevator. Slowly, they lifted from the ground as if rising on invisible strings. The elevator doors finally closed with a hard slam. I didn't breathe until I reached the lobby. Security was there, confused at why I was shaking. I told them someone was on the upper floors messing around. 2 guards went up to check. They found the 10th floor restroom empty. They found no person in the stairwell, no footprints, no signs of forced entry, nothing. But one thing bothered them. The motion sensors in the stairwell showed movement on every flight I ran down, except the top one. The 10th floor sensor had recorded nothing, not one step.